released on the 10th of December 1976, is Queen's fifth album, A Day at the Races. Now, some people think this is an inferior twin to its predecessor, the classic A Night at the Opera. I disagree. This album stands up perfectly fine on its own. It's the first album where Queen really had the freedom. Look, when they recorded this at the Manor in Oxford, they'd just come off the back of a 6-month tour, which was the first tour they could do not under their Trident Music contract. However, they owed Trident £100,000 to get out of the contract, and I think they had to pay 1% royalties from the next several, 4, 5, 6 albums, whatever it was. So, making this, the band had been extremely skint. Now they've started to make some money, which is good. Probably one of the biggest bands in the world, and one of them's living in a flat with Rising Damp, making their seminal album. Anyway, moving on. Recorded between September and November 1976. This is Queen in full form. First bought it on cassette. Slightly better than the predecessor because it hasn't got that horrible bronzy band on it. So you get the full cover. Nothing on the tape. And nothing inside. Interesting that Trident still have their logo on it, but who cares? So here, nothing at all inside apart from it'll play on mono equipment, and it's got Dolby and the like, and the nice old EMI round logo on the side. As for the album itself, it is one of Queen's wonderfully eclectic albums. Starts with Tie Your Mother Down, one of Queen's all-time great hard rock songs. Funny, written on an acoustic guitar. It's quite hard to believe. Take My Breath Away, which is a beautiful Freddie Mercury, slightly ethereal ballad. Long Away, a good mid-tempo song from Brian May. The Millionaire's Waltz, I absolutely love it. It gives illusions of grandeur and nights out, and it is a beautifully hilarious song, and it just takes you to another world, which I think Freddie Mercury wrote. It was an artist that could take you somewhere fantastical, bizarre, elegant, opulent. And finishing the first side is And You and I by John Deacon. Side 2 is another classic, starts off with Somebody to Love. Wow. Wow, that song. That must have been a shock in 1976. Freddie was a huge fan of gospel music, especially Aretha Franklin, and he wanted to recreate something. However, Mercury made Deacon and Taylor multi-track their voices 100 times to get the 100-voice gospel choir, and it sounds amazing. And I think this is one of the Queen songs that sounds better live. Live at Montreal, this is just breathtaking. And George Michael did a great version as well at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Next one's White Man, which is a bit of a dark song, this, for Queen, a Brian May rock number. Good old-fashioned Lover Boy, which is typical Bon Vivant style from Freddie. Interesting, Drowse is an interesting one. It sounds very modern for 1976 and just sound rather separate to the rest of the album, which is great. It's a Queen album, it should sound separate. Then Teo Toriate, Let Us Cling Together, where Freddie sings in Japanese. Yes. They were huge in Japan. They're absolutely huge in Japan. So it's got 2 choruses sung in Japanese, as only Freddie could. I think it's a great album. As I said, it's sometimes seen as a not very good inferior, let's say, follow-up to A Night at the Opera. I think it's a fantastic album that sounds great today. It really does. Also got the album on CD, which is the 1993 digital remaster on Queen Records. Let's have a look inside. let's have a look at what's in the libretti. Nice picture of the boys there. And lyrics. Freddie in a leotard. They did a free concert at Hyde Park around this time, and it was huge, and there's a recording knocking around of it. Freddie was a white boiler suit to begin with on stage. White suits, actually. And just an advert for the other albums. I think it sounds fresh and modern. 44 minutes 24. A nice slab of rock, glam rock, pop from the mid-70s. Again, production values. Roy Thomas Baker didn't produce this. It's produced by Queen and engineered by Mike Stone. So Queen, I think, did a damn good job of producing this. They really did. And shows that they weren't just fantastic magicians. They were magic. That's a kind of magic. Boom, boom. They weren't just fantastic musicians, great songwriters, but technically they were excellent studio magicians. Let's say magicians, yes. Yes, a great album that stands up really well today. So, Tales of Tape, Queen's 5th album. That's not a tape. That's a tape. A Day at the Races from 1976.